Good morning, good morning, good morning. We on the move this morning, guys. I am headed to Russellville. I am going to go and get a little bit of material for the tiny cabin and some fuel. And I'm also going to stop by Walmart and get that brace for my elbow that we talked about yesterday. And try to see if I can get this on the healing side, and also look at some other stuff. A lot of you guys have given me a lot of suggestions of different creams and stuff to rub on there and all of that. So I'm going to take a look at that. And y'all have given me so many different ones. It's hard to choose what one to really go with. So I think I'm going to hit up the pharmacy and talk to the pharmacist and tell him the suggestions that I got, and see which one he suggests out of the bunch, because there's probably about 10 different ones that you guys have suggested. Some a little bit more dominant than others, and I want to try to get the best one to get this thing back going. It is a good thing that I put that visqueen on the shed yesterday, because it wasn't even really calling for rain. It said like 1 o'clock in the morning and maybe a 16% chance. And yesterday at about 3:30, 4 o'clock, this freak storm came through with high winds and stuff, and just hammered the mountain. And so I was so thankful that I went ahead and put that visqueen on there. I'm also going to stop by Harbor Freight and get a big old tarp to go over there as well, because the visqueen worked, but it didn't cover it as good as I wanted it to. So I'm also going to put a good heavy-duty tarp over it as well, because I don't want to run the risk of burning it before I get a chance to get it put up. I definitely want to move that up on the priority list some, even if I just put the footers in, just so I can put the building back up and concrete inside later. I don't want to do rock on the inside of there. I want it to actually be a temperature controlled shop at some point. That is just a good workshop to be able to roll equipment around on and build tables and all that other stuff. So I definitely want to concrete it, but depending on the jingle in the pocket will determine if I do a footer or a slab all at one time. I'd prefer to go ahead and do the whole slab and just have it done and not have to deal with trying to do the concrete through a door. But with the chutes and stuff on a concrete truck, if I leave the door open and exposed, I mean, it should be able to work. It's just going to be more work. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the prices are and stuff now for doing it. The building is a 20 by 20. I'm probably going to end up doing a 40 by 40 slab off of it, because I really want to do a lean-to off one side for Uber, mainly, to be able to have a place to park Uber. I would like to be able to do one big enough for a lift as well, but I might do rock on one side and concrete on the other. And the reason why I want to do concrete on the other, because one day I might end up deciding to close that in to expand the shop, and then expand the lean-to on the other side with the rock, just for the tractors and equipment and stuff. So just to be able to future-proof it a little bit, right? And while I'm already pouring the slab, I mean, might as well do it. So we'll see. Got some thoughts going through my head and stuff. I slept amazing last night. Last night, guys, was the first time that I've slept until I woke up right before 9 o'clock this morning. That has not happened in a long time. I don't know if it was just the weather, or I was exhausted, or whatever. I didn't go too crazy yesterday. I cleaned up in front of the tiny house and the outdoor kitchen, got all the construction stuff up, and made it look like a normal person lives there again and stuff, because I was tired of stepping over all the construction stuff. I needed to get it cleaned up. I got the tiny house all nice and clean, so I wanted the outside to be clean around it as well. And so I got that done. I covered up the shed with the visqueen, and then about that, after that time, and I also helped Drifting Dreamers. He came up there in the middle of me covering up the shed. He was working on his weed eater, and was having a hard time putting a new head on it and stuff, and so he came up there to get my help, and I was able to help him get that off, and so he could get the new one on. I did own a landscaping company for quite a few years, the one that I left my son when I went to left Florida. So I do have quite a bit of experience with weed eaters and blowers and lawnmowers and all of that good stuff. Speaking of lawnmowers, it's already time to cut my grass again. Luckily, Country Road Cure has still let me keep his lawnmower, his push mower. He told me just to go ahead and keep it until the end of the season because I need to cut my grass again. So a big shout out to those guys. It's keeping me from having to buy one, and the goal is in the off season, prices go down on lawnmowers and stuff that I've learned from, you know, doing landscaping and stuff for all the years. So I would like to get a zero turn at some point. I just don't have the money right now to do it, and it's the end of the season. So I'd rather wait until the winter time when the prices are at rock bottom, and then go ahead and see if I can save up my money and get me a zero turn for next season, because hopefully by next season I'll have nice green grass everywhere. I think it's going to be very hard to get grass to grow everywhere there with that hard clay type dirt. So I'm thinking about bringing in some truckloads of topsoil around the yard area, and taking Uber and Lyft and leveling that out and get a layer of good rich topsoil on top, and then putting grass seed down. I need to do that soon because I've heard that this is a good time to do it right before fall. What do y'all think about that, and what's y'all's opinion on that? I don't know a lot about growing grass. I know quite a bit about cutting grass, but I don't know a ton about growing it. So I'm still learning, especially in this environment. I was a lot more educated with Florida and Florida soils and temperatures and conditions and stuff like that than I am here in Arkansas. This mountain, hard, rocky dirt is a whole new what's happening for me. So I'm still learning. I want to get some raised beds built and get me a raised bed garden area built, but I'm not going to pressure myself to try to do it and then not be able to keep up with it and everything else. So I think my goal is to start working on that this winter and be ready for this is spring garden season. I would have loved to have done a fall one. I just don't see me having time to do it right now. That tiny house and that shop's more of a priority. I need to get the soffit and the my brain ain't even working. The fascia and the soffit and stuff done on the tiny house outside and get the corners done. And I also need to get the sawmill finished, fixed and stuff, so I can go ahead and mill some more siding for that part that I took down to close that door in. That rain yesterday really kind of opened my eyes. I was actually sitting out in the truck because I got stuck in the rain. I was outside working and it just came and soaked me, so I jumped in the truck real quick and watched it, and that rain was blowing hard sideways towards the building and stuff, and I was scared to death that it was going to blow up underneath that roof and destroy everything that I worked my booyah off for this summer. So that definitely moved up to the very top of the priority list. So that's another thing I'll be looking at here. Originally I wanted to mill like cedar and stuff and do a cedar trim around it, but I don't think I'm gonna have time. We got more rain coming and everything, so I think I'm just gonna buy like some 1x8s and stuff like that, and some material for up underneath to go ahead and get that soffit and fascia and stuff situated and going. I got a plan to make it look good. I'm thinking as far, because you want your fascia to kind of stand out a little bit. It's kind of like that jewelry, right? And that's why I was going to do it in cedar and make it real nice, kind of like plane it and kind of polyurethane it like I did Simple Life Reclaims desk that I built them last year. But I think what I'm going to do now is just get some pressure treated wood, do the burn look on it, but I'm actually going to stain it instead of polyurethane in it, which will give it a lot richer color. I just got to pick what stain is going to work. I'm going to get a couple of little sample stain things and try a couple of different ones on some test wood and get the look that I'm looking for. and I think that'll still make it stand out enough from the original siding to give it a real nice look, and it should tie it all in real nicely. And the siding that I put on the building has been setting long enough, which was intentional, for it to kind of fade a little bit and kind of get a little bit of a weathered look before I polyurethane it. So I'm also at the point where it's about time to go ahead and paint that before it goes too far, right? And it ain't like I can burn it while it's on the building. That's a little too risky. So I need to get that polyurethane here soon too. I've already got the polyurethane, so while I'm working on the soffit and everything else, that'll be one of the next things. Basically, it's get the outside finished. Is moved way up on the priority list. I'm actually going to move the pump house back one to get the outside, just to protect everything that I've done, and then I'm going to jump in the pump house and finish up the pump house area before winter for sure, because I mean that was the original plan for the whole building, was to protect the wells so the line didn't bust again like it did last year. So that's kind of where my thought process was. Like I said yesterday, I took it real easy. I did some cleanup, nothing too strenuous, no heavy hanging off a building with a nail gun or anything, trying to give my arms some time to recoup. Like I said yesterday, I can't just shut down. You can't just shut down on a homestead. That's impossible. There's too many chores to do and stuff on a daily basis. But I can try to be proactive and get a brace and some creams and stuff, and start icing it, and slow down on the heavy lifting a little bit, and try to use my left hand as much as possible to give us a chance to heal. But I don't think I have too many heavy projects left to do. Even with the fascia and soffit and stuff like that, it's not a real big one, and it's not high in the air and all of that. It shouldn't be too heavy and stuff. So hopefully I can do it without further hurting my arm more, because I am tired. It's making me feel old, guys. It's making me feel old. I feel like I'm falling apart over here. But I know that I've pushed it this summer, guys. I pushed it this summer, but I'm not mad at it. I'm very proud of all the accomplishments that I have accomplished this summer. And I mean, me being able to sleep in that tiny house, I've slept so much better since I've gotten in that tiny house, guys. It's night and day difference of how much more comfortable I feel. I've been chasing comfort since I moved to the mountain. I don't need a lot, but I do need comfort. And a good night's sleep and feeling comfortable in your environment is key to energy and production and productivity and your mentals, right? And I've been chasing that ever since I came to Arkansas. And I finally feel like I'm getting there. Like I'm getting there. There's still definitely some conveniences I would like. I would like a nice cooking area, even if it is outside. I know a lot of y'all have talked about doing a little makeshift kitchen in the tiny house. I don't know if there's going to be space for that with the washing machine and the bathroom sink and all of that. If there's not, then I still have the kitchen in the cabin. And I don't plan on tearing that out anytime soon, especially for winter. I do plan on keeping that section of the cabin in place until at least winter's over, and that'll buy me more time to get the outdoor kitchen situated and all of that. And who knows, I might expand the tiny house some in the future. I know a lot of you guys have suggested me taking that new building and attaching it to the tiny house and all, and that's a good thought. But I'll be honest with you, I need a shop for my equipment and tools more than I need to expand the tiny house right now. It's just me there right now. So the space that I got, basically it's a master bedroom with a big bathroom in there, and so that's enough space for me right now. I don't spend a lot of time indoors anyways until it's nighttime. I know in the winter I'll spend more time in, but I also still have the cabin for extra space as well for right now. So I think the shop would, turning that back into a shop would be more valuable to me than adding it to the tiny house right now. And I'm also not trying to make the tiny house some big house. I'm not trying to make that my end-all be-all house. I have a plan for that. I want to do the container home. So I'm not trying to build a house and then go build another house. The whole point of the tiny house was to be a pump house, but then it turned into me growing it and making it bigger, and deciding that it'd be a good spot for me to stay while I do whatever I'm going to do, so I can be comfortable whenever I'm doing it. And then afterwards it can be turned into like a mother-in-law suite or something like that. So, and be used for gatherings and outdoor events and stuff like that around the cabin, where there's a bathroom and stuff for people to shower when they come and stay, or use the restroom, stuff like that. So I'm not trying to turn it into a full-blown house. It was intentional what I did. I really do want to do the container house. That was my original plan when I decided to kind of do the homesteading lifestyle to begin with. So I'm going to stick with that. So yeah, kind of went all over the place today, guys, a little bit. But I'm coming into the more city type environment here. Got cars all around me, as y'all can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it on this one, guys. It is Friday. I hope y'all have some fun plans for the weekend. I've actually got a barbecue to go to with Artistic Homestead, I think. My brain ain't working today, guys. I'm trying to focus here. We're doing a little barbecue at their new spot this weekend, so I'm going to do that. And then me and old Drifter Dreamers is taking a trip to Oklahoma Sunday, and that's going to be a big one, guys. Stay tuned for that one. It's going to be huge, epic. And then there's also a possibility that I might be going to Alabama next weekend. So we're going on some adventures. Come out. So looking forward to it. But I love every single one of y'all. Make sure that you do something nice for somebody today, guys, and take a small step towards your goal, but also take some time to have some fun and do something for yourself. Love every single one of y'all. Come on. Hey, keep it real.